because it is really easy, isn't it, to write a goal that is do 20% more, reduce time by half or whatever.
Right.
You know, stuff that's easily measurable. But confidence, feelings, wanting to be better at, it might be a relationship thing, you know, and stuff like that. They are harder to write. Definitely. So using this technique now gives us a way of exploring it, talking about it, and then writing it down.
The question is from Thinking Focus.
So the question is how to write goals for things that are touchy-feely.
Hello, my name is Rob from Thinking Focus.
Hi, I'm Richard from Thinking Focus.
The question is from Thinking Focus, a podcast about how our thinking impacts our results and what we can do about it.
Okay, so things that are a little bit more difficult to measure. Things that are perhaps feelings or emotions.
Yeah, stuff like that. Because, I mean, I know that is harder to write down, isn't it?
It is.
And you can walk away with something that's written down, but it's harder to get to that process. So how do we get there? How do we get to a place where it's written out?
Okay, so there's two very easy things I think you can do here. First of all, if you've got knowledge about SMART, you can use a variation of SMART to help you to actually get to a written goal on something that is, from the outset, touchy-feely.
Okay.
So that's one. So a quick recap around SMART: something that's specific, something that's measurable, something that's achievable, something that's relevant, and something that's got a time scale to it.
So we'd write that usually by going by, date, I will.
Correct.
Fill in the blanks.
The blanks that we've got in this case is how do we measure something because it's touchy-feely.
Yeah.
So a suggestion would be, why don't we put that feeling in a 1 to 10 type of scale, where 10 is high and 1 is low.
Yeah.
That means that you can go, how do I currently feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
All right.
And put a numerical value to that.
So you say it's a 4.
Correct.
3, whatever.
And then you can go, and what do I want to get to? What's the score that I'd like to get to in terms of my feeling?
So first of all, where am I now?
Yeah.
Where am I now?
Yeah.
And let's just say I'm a 4 out of 10. Where do I want to be?
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
By the particular date that you've got in mind.
By the date that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can then write that in a SMART goal format, as you were saying, by this date, I will.
Yeah.
And you will improve your confidence ability from a this number to a this number.
Yeah.
Right? And then that becomes the written essence of your goal, because you're looking to move from point A to point B.
How will I know I am, let's say I'm a 4 and I wanted to be a 7. How will I know I'm a 7?
So you won't know it definitively, but it's a valid question to ask, what do I think it's going to be like? So you have to use your imagination.
So let me imagine how that 7 would feel.
Yeah. So the quite good thing about this is you know what a 4 currently is, right? Because there must be a measure of dissatisfaction. You know, if I'm not very confident in something, my ability is at a 4, you know what that currently is.
Yep.
So how much more would you like it to be?
Yeah.
You know, how are you going to know, to your question, about you've got an improved level of ability or feeling of confidence, whatever it happens to be? So you use your imagination.
Yeah.
Well, in this situation, I think I will then be able to do this, be able
feel
to speak
like
in this manner, feel like that, whatever.
I might also think, I know someone else that I perceive to be a 7 or higher in this particular thing.
Yeah.
And I could imagine, I could relate how I see them. So,
Yes.
you know, I might think, well, Rob's great at this and he acts in this way. I think he feels like this. So I can use that role model as well.
And yeah, that's a really good technique to use, because most of us will have some sort of aspiration to perform like somebody else. Not exactly for the thing that we want to do.
Yeah, but to a degree. If I go by date, I will. Think about where you are now.
Yeah.
I will move from a 4 to a 7.
Yeah.
Imagine what that 7 looks like.
Yeah.
And then I can write that down on a sheet of paper just like I would write a SMART goal.
Yeah. And I think my advice would be that you not only wrote the goal, but you also jotted a few things around what that higher number is.
Yeah.
What your imagination's telling you about. I'll be able to recognise it because
as measured by, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to move from a 4 to a 7 as measured by.
Yeah.
And then I make some of the notes that help me to.
Yeah.
You know, know what I'm looking for when I'm a 7.
That additional detail is useful if you're writing a touchy-feely goal, like we're talking about, because in other words, it's difficult to measure otherwise, unless you've got that additional detail.
I think that's really interesting because it is really easy, isn't it, to write a goal that is do 20% more, or reduce time by half, or whatever.
Right.
Stuff that's easily measurable. But confidence, feelings, or wanting to be better at, it might be a relationship thing. Improving a relationship with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, even with teams, it's about improving the morale of that team.
Improving the morale. Yeah, stuff like that. That they are harder to write.
Definitely.
So using this technique now gives us a way of exploring it, talking about it.
Yeah.
Either thinking about it for yourself or talking about it with a team of people if it's a team thing, and then writing it down.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you get to identify the important bit, the increased or improved
From
ability.
where to where.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, Rob.
Next time on The Question Is.
So visualization is going to be far more useful for something that's bigger, something that maybe is a future event where you want to get some clarity. And at this point in time, arguably it's difficult to have that absolute clarity, and you don't know what the future is going to be. But your imagination is powerful enough, if you harness it correctly, to go, this is what I'd like the future to bring me. And that's all that visualization is about.
To find out how Thinking Focus can unlock the potential within your organisation, go to www.thinkingfocus.com, where you'll discover more about the work we do, helping our clients increase productivity and enable change.